surprised.
Hey, can we start by saying happy birthday to Katrina for yesterday?
Yes.
Oh,
Happy birthday, Kat.
I was a bit slow on the, I'm not good on the.
that's okay.
Way.
Rodney extended it to today because he forgot to he forgot to celebrate yesterday. So he said, "Can we make it tomorrow as well?" And I went,
I think you should have a whole weekend. A whole weekend of birthday celebration.
It's a birthday week. You always get a birthday
week.
The birthday.
I was going to cook. I was going to cook you birthday Anzac cookies, biscuits, and eat them in honor of your birthday. But there was no flour or desiccated coconut at the shop.
I know. I saw one bag of self-raising flour. I nearly nabbed it. Don't know what I'd do with it.
You know what I did for you though, Kat? I've poured myself a glass of wine.
You're so generous, darling.
Yes.
To you.
Happy birthday, Kat.
You and the
birthday.
day you were born.
Thanks, darling. This is gin.
It is your birthday week. You're going to need the whole week for that.
I would actually. I probably need the whole year for that. Because if I started drinking, I would be like, you wouldn't understand me in, like, I reckon 50 seconds. I'd be
I feel like I have had the pleasure of seeing you, Katrina, at your most drunk and vice versa.
When?
On just off Chapel Street about 7 years ago. Do you remember?
I want to know all about this.
With a US casting director.
Oh, shit, yes. Oh, my God.
That's when you want to be drunk, isn't it, Katrina Milosevic?
I threw up on myself.
Who was it? Was that
No, that was the previous time you threw up in a sink. And so did he.
Oh, yes. He threw up in his
Matt was it?
And you did Beyonce.
Did I? That sounds like me.
You did Beyonce with an umbrella you found. You did the whole dance. Oh, my God.
I don't remember that bit.
Oh, I it's seared into my brain. I think
Anybody just see that?
Yes.
Tequila thing, memento.
Which
what was that?
Was it?
Charlie!
Oh my God!
Been on TV.
You girls rock. You're on TV. I'm halfway through season 5.
Yeah. Yeah. Stop staging us.
Yeah, come on. 4 stars on this screen.
All of you are really good except for Kate.
Which Kate?
So now I'm going to be wondering for the rest of the shoot.
So,
and did you mean Kate or Kat?
No, one of us.
I don't know. I have no idea. He's now gone. Because that was terribly irresponsible. No, you're allowed to have one person, aren't you? You're allowed to have one person. He came over to do a voiceover audition in the voice booth I've got here.
It's an essential service and they stay 1.5
I don't think we've broken any rules, but maybe we have. But then Sullivan and I have always been rule breakers, so...
No, I think he was staying a very healthy distance away from you. I'm going to pay that one.
Yeah. I should have got this one out and it's gone.
Keep it clean.
1.5.
Yeah. I love your song, by the way, Bernard.
Same.
Oh, yeah. We got a lot of people saying that was a bit of an earworm. They couldn't get that out of it.
Fantastic.
You need to release that.
Oh, well, we should, we should do a recording.
Yeah, because it came out very early on in the piece and it was just, so
it sounds
good.
like it should be in a Coen Brothers film.
That's right, it did. It felt a bit Oh Brother Where Art Thou, didn't it? Yeah.
It was very good.
Yes.
Okay, well,
Kate Atkinson, I must say, you're looking particularly homely in your...
I am homely. How long have you known me?
I've got a knit on too. We're rocking the knits, which is good.
Yeah. I've got my blanket.
Yeah.
I was going to have my pajama pants on just because this whole thing, it's the great leveler, this virus. Like, we're all in. But I've got pants on, everyone. I have. On.
Is there a zipper involved or is it an elasticized waistband?
No, there's a zipper involved. So
God, you've really gone to town. I've got an elastic.
Have you let the top button undone, or are you okay?
I'm all right.
If anyone's...
I've got, I'm getting out during the day. I'm still walking, doing a bit of yoga. Yeah. I thought I was going to be spherical by the end of this. I thought I was just going to roll out of the...
There's still time.
I'm going to be all right.
And now, how long is it since we've actually seen each other in the flesh? It's been over a month, is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It was
Has it?
15th of March? What? No.
We had that meeting on the 21st.
Yeah,
February?
so it's over a month and
That's
it's like
the
6 weeks,
Yeah.
5 weeks, 5 6 weeks.
Yeah.
In a time when we would have been seeing each other every single day over that,
All day.
apart
An
from one
obnoxious
week.
amount. An
And,
obnoxious.
yeah, an inordinate amount.
Yeah.
And
And now this is all I get.
I know this is what we get. This is the new normal.
At least we get a chance to miss each other this way, because normally at this point in the shoot, we would be very happy to see the back of each other for a while. But I miss you, criminals.
Yeah.
Oh, I miss you guys too.
Yeah. I miss everyone too.
Yeah.
You know, the sooner we can get back into doing what we love doing, and that's, you know, there's obviously no word of a lie there. You know, we all love it. We're all fans of the show, and we love what we do, and we feel particularly privileged to be in that position. The sooner we can get back and do it and finish it off, the better, really, for everyone, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think a question that I get asked quite a lot is, are we going to be shooting the rest of the season? Because I think a lot of the fans know that we've been stood down, and we kind of just have to wait and see about where, you know, when and if we can pick up filming again. And I guess the safe answer is that we don't really know either. We kind of have to wait to be dictated by the government, but
We can
very
say,
likely, I guess, is the answer.
we can say that we've got a season in the can. Like, we were doing 20 episodes back to back. 10 of those are in the can. So we can, you know, we can broadcast a season, but there's one yet to be. But
it would be a deep tragedy if we weren't able to continue, because there is a gate. It needs to. There's no resolution in that one season that we have finished. There's no real resolution towards the end of that, you know.
No, it just heats up in that last.
Yeah.
And even though we don't know what's coming in the final moments of the next season, none of us really know what's going to happen, because the writers and producers have not told us what's going on. We know that it is going to have an incredible resolution. Whatever happens, it's going to be big and all encompassing, and it's going to be huge, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we all want to do it for the sake of the story, for the sake of the show.
And we also, you know, uniformly don't want to go back if we have to compromise the quality of the show. If there's anything that maybe technically or physically or dramatically can't do the story that we've been telling for 9 seasons, we don't want to give a half-ass Wentworth.
Yeah, that's an interesting point, actually. There are some other TV shows that are actually going back into production, I think next week or the week after.
Yep.
And they're able to achieve that because of the nature of those shows. They can have the actors standing 1.5 meters apart. Actors can do their own makeup, so you can kind of adhere to those rules. Whereas we certainly cannot achieve that on our show. Can you imagine us trying to do prosthetic bruises or like doing a fight scene 1.5 meters away from each other?
Standard makeup.
Boomer would end up with a full face of the most glamorous makeup you could imagine, and I'd be like, "What? I'm vibing with it. Leave me alone. 1.5 meters, Megs. Back you go." I'd love it.
One of the most responses I get to one particular line that I said, I think it was in last season, was to this line: "Jenkins, arse out of Birdsworth face."
Where did I have my ass
you're
in the
doing
face?
the bum dance. You know, you're doing the bum dance or whatever, and you were going, and you had your ass, and I said, "Jenkins, arse out of Birdsworth face."
That's
You made that one up, Bern, on the day.
Lunch, right? I feel like I was sitting next to you.
Yes,
You would have been, yeah. Oh, Birdsworth.
Yeah, there'll be none of that.
Okay, well, I have a couple of questions, and I feel like that's a good segue.
Yeah.
I asked some Wentworth fans if they had any questions for us, and the answer was yes, they did.
Strange.
So
Awesome.
I have a feeling that this is probably going to be your most asked question of all time. But how hard was it to play Liz's death scene?
Oh, bloody hell.
That was my favourite scene of all Wentworth history, by the way. Favourite in how like evocative it was and how much it touched me.
Oh, you're lovely. I'm still not actually over it. I don't think. Because do you remember that time? That was the time when we'd been told that when Wentworth was we were going out on a high, it was finishing, and I it was such a, it was bloody hard. It's a blur, but I still haven't gotten over it. And I just remember the vibe. It was strange days on set anyway. What is it with this show and strange days? Like, we were finishing up, but then I remember Kath, who was our, for those who don't know, our DOP at the time, protected Celia and I because Pino, our producer, was running around going, no, we might not be finishing. We might not be during the filming of that scene.
We'd just gotten word that it was looking good, that we would be coming back for more. But you still had that scene to film.
It was so bizarre. So I remember finding that out straight after we finished the scene. But the shooting of the scene, it was hard and it wasn't at the same time because Celia just, I don't know, the way I felt about her and the way that Burma felt about Liz did all the work, really.
Yeah.
You remember, I will remember so vividly when we did the read through of that episode and gorgeous Catherine Tonkin, who was our big print reader.
Oh, yes.
Couldn't read. She couldn't read. She was so overcome. Do you remember?
Yes.
And she is the consummate professional when it comes to that sort of thing. And she was terribly apologetic, but we all said, hey, because she's like, I'm so sorry, I just can't get through the big print of explaining what was going on. And we said, it's okay. Everybody was totally fine with it, you know. Yeah. It was an amazing moment.
But I said something about the investment of everyone in that room, including the big reader.
Yes.
You know,
we're so lucky, aren't we? We're so lucky.
Oh, beautiful. That's beautiful.
Yeah, we do. We have, I think, the best. The best crew and the best cast.
That was an interesting thing. Like we're everybody was crying around that the table. Everybody, producers, you name it. And then when we all actually got to watch that final episode, we Kate, Jenko, and you were there, weren't you, in Sydney?
Sydney, yeah.
With Celia and Tammy and Jackie. Who else was there? That was it, I think. Was that right?
Rick Donald was there, who played Sean Brody.
Yeah. And we watched that in the cinema, like it was, they had it on a big screen at one of the George Street cinemas, and
there were fans there too.
Yeah, fans as well. But we kind of at that moment, we all sort of kind of got out of our seats and all kind of huddled together to watch that moment and just bawled our eyes out. We knew it was. That's the weird thing. It's coming. You've read the script. You've done the read through. You know what's going to happen, but it didn't change the fact that we were all incredibly, still emotionally affected by that scene. It was beautiful.
Yeah, that whole season I was incredibly affected by. Actually, I think that was one of our best series. For me, anyway. Like watching it, I'm always engrossed in it. Like I really do forget that I'm in it most of the time because I don't get to see, particularly you guys, Kate and Bernie. You're on the other side of the bar, so I'm really, Jenko and I are really sort of involved in what's going on in that world, and so I get so sucked in and drawn in, and always surprised by how what I've read in the scripts comes to life. And I just haven't even been drinking. I just hit myself in the head then. So yeah, it's funny, isn't it? It's but I found that whole series like quite a journey and so engaging and
Well, on that note, another one of the questions that got asked a lot, and this is a question for everybody, is what was your favourite season of Wentworth altogether?
7 was mine.
Mine too, 7, yeah.
I'd have to say that as well. Because, and it's, I think it's fundamentally because from season 1, I mean, obviously Janko and I weren't in seasons 1 to 3, but I think from each season has absolutely, without any kind of word of a lie, has improved on the last.
Yeah.
And I feel as though 7 was, you know, I mean, we're sort of still in the middle of shooting that kind of that next phase, but 7, I think, raised the bar on all previous seasons in many ways.
I think so too. I remember watching the final couple of episodes with the siege, and there was one particular, there was a particular moment where I remember just thinking, this show is world class. It's so good, and it's hard for me to admit that about a show that I'm in, because I'm normally so hypercritical about everything that I do. But I was, it's a bizarre thing to be a huge fan of a show that you are in.
I know, that's how I feel too. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
I was going to say season 1, 2, or 3, but clearly I can't. I've just realised that I can't now because neither of you two were in it. It wasn't one of those ones. It was not 1, 2, or 3. I'm still thinking, but it wasn't 1, 2, or 3. Deaths.
It's a very different show now.
It's one of the things that I am kind of that I like to tell people the most in terms of telling a story about the experience is the fact that everybody, all of the actors on the show who work on the show are real, I feel are real genuine fans of the show. And like you were just saying, it is a kind of a unique thing. A lot of the times you kind of say, oh, it's just a job, and you kind of go, oh, you know, I'm getting paid to do it. I'll give it everything and everything. But it's sometimes you just kind of walk away from a job and you go, well, that was just a job, and that, you know, it paid me money, and I had an experience. But I think this particular show, more than any other that I've worked on, and probably, I guess, in your experiences as well, it has been such a, you know, I've been so emotionally connected to it in terms of the experience as well as the work, that it you know, and we are all such great fans of the show that it's I think it's the sort of the show that will stick with me probably for the most of my life, you know what I mean? In terms
of for
looking
sure.
back on it with fondness.
There's also something, I mean, I hate to, suppose that we're institutionalized, but you think there is something peculiar about this show in that, that we are confined to one location for the most part. And what I love about it is I love this ensemble of actors. I love the material we're doing. But we can see every cog of production going on all the time. So we've got the writers and the editors and the designers. Everyone is in that building. So the whole machinery, so when we talk about the Wentworth family, it's not just us. It is the whole, gamut of teams that make the show. And I think that's made it, for me, a really
100%. My respect for what all those departments do, because I can physically watch them do it all day, has grown exponentially, and I will never take that for granted ever again, no matter what. Like, they're amazing. They always have been. And also there's always been, since day one, a special chemistry. I know people have come and gone, but that ethos has remained somehow. And and we've protected it really carefully too. It's pretty amazing. And now we're living through a pandemic in it. What the hell?
Man.
Who'd have thought? Would you have thought 8 years ago, Atco, that we'd be like, oh, in 8 years?
Mate, I didn't think I'd be doing this show. That's my 40s gone.
Same.
I'm like,
my 30s gone.
Have thought, when I started this show, I was doing a master's degree, because I thought, I think I might give this acting thing away.
Like your brother.
So who would have thought? And also, I think there have been certain junctures in the evolution of this show. Do you go with, where are we going? And it has just got better and better and better. So it's never been a difficult choice to keep coming back. No, I never imagined this. I never, and I really hope that, it's been such an historical part of my career, and this last season is just so important and so sentimental, you know, so weighty for so many of us that I just want us to do it and do it well and do it safely. And I'm very huggy. It's a very good set. We're all very good at our jobs. We're very professional. It's a very huggy set, and
that's why this pandemic thing is killing
very
us.
upset.
I just don't think that we wouldn't be able to do it half-assed, and that's why I think we'll just have to wait. We'll have to wait until such a time that we can do it.
But imagine if we end up actually being able to finish this whole thing, which would be a really great result for us and for the crew and for the fans. The wrap party is going to be tough.
Oh man,
you can't hug anybody, or presumably that will still be a thing. And then at the wrap party, you're just all over for everybody. You're like, you go, oh, and if this was the last season, all you want to do is hug people. It's going to be weird, right?
Well, I feel like it'd just be a good excuse to come back when season 8B or season 9, whatever we're calling it, when that airs. I think we just all have to get together.
Right.
And hopefully at that point in time we can, conglomerate in a pub or a bar or something. We can actually have physical contact with one another.
Action. It's just going to be great.
On one hand, for people like me, introverts who actually are homebodies, and this time is great. You're just pottering about in your own blissful little bubble. But on the other hand, I'm really realizing, like yesterday, I really realized when my friend rocked up at my door, and then my brother, and I just burst into tears because I realized I'm missing that so much. And I didn't realize that, Barbara Streisand, people need people, man.
Where are you going with this? How did
I don't know. I've got the ISO madness, I swear.
She does have an answer for everything. But it's the fact that your choice is taken away, because I'm the same Kat. I am an introvert and at-home kind of person. I love staying home. I love to cancel plans. But it's having that choice to cancel plans taken away from me that I don't appreciate.
Yes.
Yeah.
I actually, so my wife and I have got 2 kids in there. It's Banjo's birthday tomorrow, and he's 8. So
he's a Taurus.
He's a Taurus. They're both Banjo and Fox are both Tauruses. His birthday tomorrow. But so they're 8 and 10 ostensibly, and we just kind of, life is sort of like normal. Like we kind of, we get up, it's mental in the mornings, and then we kind of have this homeschooling thing, and we're trying to keep to a sort of a schedule and everything. But I actually, when I think about people who don't have families and who live by themselves, that to me is a
fabulous.
Really, no, but really tough. Like I find it,
fabulous.
I find because you're lacking human connection in that way. I've got kids and I've got my wife, and we're just doing it as normal, But I feel like some people who don't have that would be like, God, this is really hard to not have human connection over such a protracted period of time.
Yeah, totally.
Human touchy-feely, but I feel very connected to people, and I can still. One of our darling colleagues, Robbie Mangasiva, could not get back to New Zealand. And so we walk together at a, sensible distance, and that's socializing. So I will see one other person, not every day, but most days, to walk, which you can do. This kind of stuff, I'm on the phone constantly. And like you guys, I'm way more introverted than people would suspect, so I have books and music and my garden, and I'm not bored for an instant. My main observation is like so many crises, the kind of inequity, and so while I'm kind of here going, there's all these people in need, and people do, and I can't do anything, and then there's other people literally working themselves to the bone, putting themselves in danger. There's some of us who can be quite comfortable at home on our own. There's some people who can't access government support and aren't so good at being on their own. So I'm really cognizant of, for the little moments of discomfort that I might have, I'm really very comfortable.
Yeah.
It's just reining in concern
Yeah.
when you can't do anything.
Yeah.
It's frustrating.
And I think we are so incredibly lucky in Australia, by virtue of the fact that I think we're an island and we were able to basically just keep the virus out and we can contain it and therefore control it. But just speaking to people who have family in other countries, it's kind of terrifying. And while it's certainly not great having our lives put on hold, I feel like at least here in Australia and New Zealand we'll be able to get back to it fairly soon. But I imagine there are some parts of the world that are going to be out of action for a long time if they want to try and contain the spread of the disease.
Bernie, I would like to say that with all this time on my hands, my guitar playing's still pretty ordinary, mate. It's pretty ordinary. I'm trying, but I'm not practicing as much as I thought I would.
We've been playing a little bit of music together in the green room on shooting Wentworth, and but your skills are pretty good.
Yeah.
And the last time I saw you on Zoom, you had a music stand in the background with the guitar. No, was that just? No.
I would say I'm a little bit like a dog. Like, what they say with training dogs, it's better to do a little bit every day than, just wait for the weekend. Yeah. So I'm a bit like a dog. I pick it up every day. So, anywhere between 10 minutes to half an hour.
So that's okay.
Very well groomed and lovely smelling dog.
But not a natural talent. I think we can.
Oh, I think we'll be judged of that.
A determined woman.
That's all right, Atco. I don't think I'm a natural talented actor, but I've made a career out of it.
Yeah, right.
Whatever gets you by.
I do love it.
I haven't got natural talent in me. I don't even have a natural hair colour.
This is I just want.
I do.
You can see my room here, and I've already been through this and everything, right? I've got my guitars over there, and they're all stacked up, and all my audio gear here, and I've got a vocal booth there. I've got a treadmill over there, you can see.
Right.
But just in the background, where is it? There, the background there. So Sonia and I come in and do these. This is my wife, Sonia, and I do these little high intensity interval training workouts in here, and I've got the this. Oh. These are like adjustable dumbbells, right? And you put them in and you turn the little thing, and you can have anywhere between 2.5 kilos to 24 kilos each thing, right? So you can adjust them.
Wow.
Yep.
Nathan would like that.
Oh, little interest to me. I'm never going to pick up anything like that in my life.
And this guy over here, hang on, I'm just going to do a real quick thing here because Sonia hates this thing. Hang on.
I'm a bit nervous about where this is going.
Oh, no, but it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Stand by. Stand by.
Are you sure Sonia's going to be okay with going out to the internet?
I should have had this pre-set up, shouldn't I, really? But
yeah, we're riffing. We're just riffing here. It's fine.
We're riffing.
Just
here we go. Hang on. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
All right.
Oh,
do you
no.
have any other questions?
Yeah, I've got like 1,000 more questions. Okay. The overwhelming question that I get asked all the time is, can you guess?
Something about the freak? No.
No.
Oh, what?
Is B still alive?
Ah!
Wow.
So what do you think?
Really?
Yeah, I get asked that all the time. Is B coming back? I mean, I don't think so. I think she genuinely died.
Yeah, I think she genuinely. Well, we saw that she got stabbed in the guts 8 times or something, and
I think a lot of people seem to think that because the freak is back, that now B should come back too. And while I certainly appreciate the sentiment, and that would be thrilling. I do think that there's a distinct difference though, because in my opinion, and of course this is everyone's entitled to their own, in my opinion, we saw B die, but we never saw Ferguson die. We saw her trapped in a box, but we never saw her dead.
And also, like, I'm thinking about what would she have to gain by disappearing for a few years? But unless, I mean...
But I also think dramatically, you know, Ferguson is like this mythical cockroach, you know, she can just keep... And B's death was self-sacrificial, and, you know, that was, she went out like...
a hero.
The hero she had become.
Yeah.
And I don't know why you would want to minimise that. It was, such a dramatic surprise. It was such a bold step, the writing department to take. Why would you then...
Yeah. And also, I guess further to that, Atco, is that regardless of the fact that that character obviously was and still is so loved and revered, from a story point of view, there's no real benefit to bringing that character back, because she was loved, that everybody loved that character. So you bring that character back from the dead, and from a story point of view, it's like, oh great, B's back.
Yeah.
And then that's it.
Where does she go? She can't...
If you bring the freak back, everyone, you know, everybody is in danger. So I think from a story point of view, you just get much more mileage from bringing the freak back.
I agree.
And B went at her most complete, you know, this woman that had kind of come in as this victim, and, you know, and then I always found the relationship with Ali so moving, that she got that.
Yeah, same.
You know, and I just, you know, I mean, in the most gruesome way, but she kind of did leave on a high, if you like. You know, she, as she said in her last line, was, I won. You know, she got...
Yes.
So
I thought it was a hero's exit, and personally, I wouldn't think it right to bring the character back, just because it felt like a soldier's send off.
Yeah.
And, you know, we can say all this because we literally don't know how this show is ending. So, surprise!
Yeah, she'll be governor. She'll be governor by the end.
I'm going to turn the party light off now.
Okay, so what's going on, Bernie? Show us your...
No.
Show us your contraption.
Well, I just have a disco light going while we train and stuff.
Oh, fantastic.
Like, do we really need the disco light? I'm like, well, I think we do.
Oh, bless.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I need one in my kitchen when I'm cooking. I do a bit of dancing while I'm cooking. That's my exercise. So I need one in my kitchen.
I'd like to see a live stream of that, Atco.
A friend of mine put together this great, because she knows I love dancing, and she put together this really great dance mix, and I was kind of jigging around the kitchen, and it was up quite loud, and I thought, the police are going to raid my place thinking I'm having a party, and come in and find a middle-aged lady in her pajamas making vegetable dal for one. Like, it's no party, guys. It's just how I feel.
Well, you may adopt the persona of a spinster, Kate A, but a lot of people were inquiring as to your relationship status. I think a lot of people would like to snatch you up.
Reclaim the word spinster. It has a bit of a, you know, has a ring to it, but I'm just going to reclaim that word, or just free spirit. Or spinster. That's fine. No.
Who are they wanting her to hook up with?
Single ladies.
Them.
Are they talking about Atco, or are they talking about Vera?
No, Atco.
Are they male or female?
Hard nut to crack.
Are they suggesting?
Hard nut to crack.
I would say you'd be able to have your pick of the fandom, Atco.
I agree.
Wow.
Well, look, awkward. Moving on. It's lovely. lovely that you're interested, but no,
Always.
it's life. It's a good life.
Like, this cowgirl doesn't need a cowboy.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.